Shajib Joy, the son of Bangladesh's former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, joins me from the US state of Virginia to share his perspectives on the recent developments in his homeland. Shajib Joy, why did former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, your mother, had to resign and flee the country in such haste?
Thank you. It's because she did not want to use force against the demonstrators. At that point, she had ordered the police and the military not to use force, not to use lethal force at all. And when the demonstrators marched on, decided that they would march on the prime minister's residence, she had said that no, I don't, I will not. She had told me on the phone that I will not have the blood of students on my hands, and I would rather resign. And once she had planned to resign and announce her resignation and make an orderly constitutional transition. But once they started marching on, so when they marched to the military, the army barricades, the army fired in the troops fired in the air, but they were under instructions not to use force on the students. So when the students didn't stop, even after firing in the air, the army, there was nothing much they could do. The students started marching. And as they were approaching Gonabhavan, the prime minister's residence, that's when we started urging her to leave the country.
Was she under pressure from the military?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, it was under, actually, she did not want to leave the country. Even when the military, our SSF, they took her to a safe location in the cantonment. And at that point, and when she went to the military airfield, she did not want to, in Tejgaon, she did not want to get on the helicopter. She was actually telling my aunt, you go ahead, I'm going to stay. My aunt called me, put me on the phone, and we persuaded her, no, you have to leave because otherwise they will kill you. So the pressure to leave was actually from us, from the family, from me, not from anyone else.
In retrospect, do you think the Awami League party dealt with students' protest incorrectly?
Yes, mistakes were made. I think there were some mistakes made, but I also think that the protests were incited way beyond what they should have been. If you look at the evening of July, the night of July 15th, that is when the violence started. And if you look at the incidents then, you see my mother made a statement that we don't want families of Rajakars getting government jobs. So she was trying to explain the justification for the quota. You see, this whole thing was clearly incited because then some groups started spreading that she had called the students Rajakars. That is not what she said at all. And furthermore, so that night at Dhaka University, you had some group, and no one seems to know who they are. They started a procession in the middle of the night under cover of darkness, chanting, "We are Rajakar, we are Rajakar." Of course, when you do that, that made Chhatro League, which is our students, our supporters, it made them angry. And so the next day there was a confrontation. They attacked. So, and then because there was a confrontation, then police unfortunately used excessive force in trying to stop the confrontation. So I think, uh, there was clearly some element that was continuously trying to inflame the situation beyond what it should have been.
Who would you hold responsible for the political upheaval in Bangladesh?
At this point, I strongly suspect Pakistan's ISI because if the marching in the middle of the night, the rumors and twisting the words on social media, and then finally, when there were attacks on police, the people attacking the police were armed with firearms. Now, where did they get these firearms? Students don't have firearms. So clearly, the firearms were supplied by somebody, and the only way to supply firearms is a foreign intelligence actor.
More than 300 people were killed during weeks of clashes between protesters and security forces. Amnesty International verified incidents of unlawful use of lethal and less lethal weapons by law enforcement agencies while policing the protest. What is your take on it?
So our government immediately suspended the police officers that used excessive force. That has not been reported by Amnesty. They never do. So you cannot blame the government and the leadership for a few individuals uh, breaking the law. Our job is to bring them to justice, and we immediately suspended them. That is what the government is supposed to do, and that is what we did.
Is Muhammad Yunus the right person to lead the interim government? What do you think?
I mean, that I have no opinion on. That remains to be seen. That is whom they seem to have chosen, and we shall see how he does.
What is next for Sheikh Hasina? Where will she reside and will she take part in politics in the future?
Sheikh Hasina has not made any decision to go anywhere at all. She has not completely left Bangladesh. She never wanted to. At first, we thought this would be a good time to retire. This was going to be her last term, but given the violence, against our own party members, so what happened is our party members are being attacked throughout the country. Dhaka is somewhat peaceful because the army is deployed, but outside of Dhaka, there is no law enforcement, there is no law and order, and our party people started getting attacked. Almost everyone's homes have been burnt down. So at this point, what people underestimate is that the Awami League is the largest political party in Bangladesh. The Awami League is not weak, the Awami League is not dead. We did not wish to be blamed for violence during the protests. Now we are no longer in charge. Awami League is not in government, but the Awami League has to defend itself. And we don't want violence. But you cannot have democracy in Bangladesh without Awami League. And frankly, the BNP. BNP and Awami League are the two largest political parties in Bangladesh. How can you possibly have democracy without BNP and Awami League? Sooner or later, BNP or Awami League will be in power. That is a matter of fact, as long as there is democracy.
Shoji Joy, thank you for speaking with us today on DW Asia.
Thank you.